Yeah. Rolling, rolling, rolling. What you gonna do? Rolling, rolling. What you gonna? Welcome to the Man United stream. Hope you're doing well. It's Monday morning and it's the deadline day, transfer deadline day. January transfer window is coming to an end. But will Man United go out there and make a last-minute signing? It looks very quiet. It looks like nothing is going on. Nothing. But wait up. Let me just move. Look, everything's falling apart. Everything is falling apart. Let me move this back. Move this back. I'm back once again, guys. This transfer window is absolutely not going to plan. Not going to plan. Like my studio's falling apart, and I'm falling apart because I want some signings. Why are Man United not going out there and signing some new players? We need new players. Please do not leave Carrick hanging. That's what we are all desperate for as Man United fans. We know we are in a position which we would have only dreamt about a couple of months ago. Under Ruben Amorim, we were desperate to get some kind of success. And we've won 3. He's equalled Ruben Amorim's best ever win streak. Carrick, in his first 3 games as Man United manager, has equalled what Ruben Amorim did over, 14 months. Crazy, but true. This is the standards we were dealing with Ruben Amorim. I know what you're going to say. There might be some Man United fans who are huge fans of Ruben Amorim and might still be licking their wounds about Ruben Amorim getting the sack, but allow that. That's been done and dusted with. Move on, guys. Move on. Let's talk about Michael Carrick and what he needs right now. In the last couple of hours of the transfer window, we need signings. We're looking around at Liverpool and others making signings, doing things. Clubs, Aston Villa, Tottenham, everybody is at it. But we're standing still, and it is totally wrong of INEOS to think that we have got enough to get on with. We've got enough players to actually make us qualify for Champions League. The risk of doing that is huge. It's huge. Why are they not understanding? They're going to cry if we get 1 or 2 signings. And Casemiro, yesterday, sensational performance. I mean, there's no other word for it. He was brilliant for us. But Casemiro is 4 yellow cards away from getting another 3-match suspension. That's what I discussed last night. I was talking to everyone about it, saying, look, yes, Casemiro, brilliant game, brilliant player for us, but we're going to need reinforcements. Ugarte is not that guy, man. I've been saying it all season. We saw the drop-off, the immense drop-off as soon as he came on yesterday. It was so obvious that we lost control of that game. 2-0, and we were coasting. Suddenly, we make that substitution. Casemiro comes off, so does Kuna, and boom. We give 2 goals away. We look like we're on the ropes. We're like, oh my God, what's going on? I mean, if it wasn't for that sensational Sesko finish, that brilliant ball by Bruno Fernandes, we would have been crying right now over what could have been. I was already sat there thinking, shit, we've dropped 2 points in a crucial moment of the Premier League. And I've been saying to everybody, this Premier League table is really deceptive. 2 points, it's almost like losing 3 games. You drop that far back because there's so much congestion in this Premier League table this season. Everyone is right there with a couple of points difference. Apart from Arsenal, everybody else is scrunched up together, and one loss here, one loss there can make you jump up or go right to the bottom, depending on which end you're on. But anyway, guys, massive day for United. Can we go out there and sign somebody? I'm still getting news, reports, sources saying United are looking. United are thinking about what? It's the last bloody day. Let's go out there and get someone. Stop doing this. Thinking, monitoring. You know, oh, Man United are monitoring this guy and Man United are monitoring this player and this midfielder. Bullshit. There's no secret talks. There's nothing going on. We need players in. Do not rest on our laurels. We can't sit here and think, right, okay, Carrick's won 3 games and we're not going to face any problem going forward. We are absolutely going to have to weather the storm, and it will come. It will come sometime in his tenure. Carrick is not going to go unbeaten. We've got to face that fact as well. We've got to face the fact that, look, there's going to be a time where we're going to get stuck. We're going to get stuck with this current squad. These players might drop a level. Something else might happen. We might get a few key injuries. Dogu, like we saw with Dogu, look, he was a big miss yesterday. Yes, Kuna came in and did a brilliant job, especially with that finish as well. Brilliant performance by him. But Dogu, we missed. That defensive work rate, the pace, we missed. I think we would have played a different game, but of course, Kuna, hats off to him. Brilliant performance. But we need options in that midfield. That's where I keep saying it. Without Casemiro, we look like a completely different team. And this is Casemiro we're talking about. The guy pre-season we were talking about shouldn't even be at the club. We were talking about selling him. We were talking about in the summer transfer window, get rid of Casemiro, bring somebody else in. We need Baleba, we need this, we need that. Casemiro's not good enough. That's what we were talking about. Now we are reliant upon Casemiro. We're saying, do not leave. What? Give him another season. I mean, a couple of months ago, we were like, Casemiro, yeah, he's going to go into the season. Yeah, he should go. We should buy new players, blah, blah, blah. And under Carrick, in these 3 games, he looks like a transformed player. But then again, every other player at United looks like a transformed player under Carrick. I mean, Bruno Fernandes, further up on the pitch. I mean, come on. The guy is cooking. Mbumo, Kuna, Ahmad, you name it. Everybody. Harry Maguire, Martinez, Luke Shaw, even bloody Dalot looks half decent. He looks like he's not making any mistakes. This is what the Carrick effect is. And he's getting the best out of these players. But I am worried. I am worried to see teams around us strengthening their squads. And I know there's some fans who keep saying the same thing, making up excuses for INEOS and the Glazers by saying, well, we haven't got a lot of games to play, and we don't need to spend all this money right now because we can save it and go in the summer and spend the money in the summer. Number one, it's not your bloody money, so stop looking at it as you're making a saving. You're not making a saving. All you're going to do is cry about this if we get some serious injuries in the next couple of games, right? That's number one. Or we get suspensions, or something else happens that we haven't factored in, and boom, we haven't got the players that we need in this team in crucial matches. Imagine if we come to the end of the season and you've got 1 or 2 games which are must-win games to qualify for the Champions League, or even, dare I say it, win the title. What if that scenario hits us? What do we do then? That's what I'm saying. We're going to cry over not going out there when we've got the opportunity to go and sign a few extra players. I'm not saying go and sign flipping Mbappe or Vinicius Jr. or Bellingham or something. I'm saying just go out there and sign a half-decent player. Ruben Neves, Gomez from Wolves, or even Ndidi. I know some people are like, allow Ndidi, allow this, but I'm just simply saying anyone would do right now. Anybody who can have a half-decent game, anyone who can come in and step in those shoes of Casemiro or maybe just allowing us some breathing space. That's what we need in that midfield. If I was making signings, I would also look at possibly bringing in a new right back and a left back. I personally, I would try and do that. Look, I think attacking-wise, we've got enough options. I think attacking, we're sorted with. Defensively, I think we're sorted as well. I think we've got plenty of options in this centre-back department. Midfield is where we're lacking massively. And then after the midfield, I think the right back, I think I would rather have maybe an option on the left back as well. Luke Shaw is doing a good job, and we know Dogu can play there, but could you go out there and improve that side of things? I think you could. So that's why I was saying, look, we need to go out there and maybe improve our team. That's the whole point of going out there and improving. That's what most teams do in the transfer windows. You go out there and you improve. Why wait till the summer where you have to rely on getting all your signings done in a World Cup summer as well, by the way? So it's not going to be easy. Most players are going to be on international duty, the ones that United will be looking at. And yeah, you can't make those signings immediately. So why not get one or two of those signings in this window? We've got an opportunity. Let's not just wait on the summer and having to put all our pressure to go and get things done during the summer transfer window. I think it would have made sense to simply add a few players in the January window and then go again in the summer and improve the team even further. At least you can take advantage of the players that have come in right now and they can actually add some squad depth to us. I know some of us, like INEOS, will be saying, well, we've got enough squad depth. We've got Zertsky here. We've got Mount here. And the rest of them on the bench are doing a good enough job. And they've got options. I just don't feel they're strong enough. I just don't feel like we've got the best options off the bench. Game-changing options we haven't got. But anyway, let me go to the chat. Let me see what everyone else is saying, and then we'll jump in to the rest of the news. We'll discuss any transfer news coming out of United today, and we'll discuss anything else we need to about yesterday's game, which was a very good game, by the way. We need to celebrate that, don't we? We need to celebrate that win. It was insane. It was an insane game. Classic Man United last-minute winner by Seshko. What a goal. I mean, brilliant performance, but we can't get carried away. We need to start looking ahead. Next game is against Tottenham. They played pretty well against Man City, I must admit. Second half, they came out and they showed why United can't take them lightly, even at Old Trafford. Next week, another big test, another big game. Tottenham, they're going to be hyped up. They're going to be pumped. They're going to be pumped, saying, look, we did that against City. We came back and drew. So they're going to be full of belief that they can come to United and do a job on United. Completely unacceptable. We need to bring in a left winger and Gomez bare minimum. We're a few injuries away from 10th. Yep, that is the worry, Niche. That is the worry I have as well. That we are. It's a really thin line between actually doing well this season or picking up a few injuries, a few suspensions, and boom, we drop right down to the bottom of the pack. And when I mean the pack, I mean the top eight. You don't want to be down there in 9th, 10th position. And it's very easily done. We played against Fulham, who were 7th yesterday. So they didn't look like a team that were that bad, right? They've actually played really well. We knew the dangers of Fulham. And yeah, this is why we need to go and improve. We need to go out there and get better players. The table is so close. We have to make 2 signings today. Imagine if Kuna gets a knock. Who's playing left wing? Perfect point you made about Casemiro being on a potential ban. Yeah, Kuna as well. That's a good point. I didn't think of that. Right now, we're kind of sitting comfortable because we're like, oh, yeah, Kuna's come in, scores a goal, adds something to the team. That Dogu, is not available right now, or at least we've got Kuna. But imagine if Kuna picks up an injury. Imagine if one of our other players picks up an injury that we haven't got a like-for-like replacement for. That's where the worrying signs are. I mean, for me, imagine if Mbumo gets injured. Okay, look, you got Sesko there, Ahmad, then you got problems. I think going forward, I'm confident that we've got enough players to do the job. It's the midfield that really concerns me. I just feel like Kobe has come in and he's played an absolute brilliant game of football once again against Fulham. I just feel like he is now pivotal for this Carrick team. And so is Casemiro. If you break that two up, that's where the problems lie. Because I can't see anybody who's like for like going to come in and do a job just like, and if not better than Kobe or Casemiro. Ugarte is simply off it. I don't know what's wrong with the guy. I really don't. Look, He tries. I see him trying. I see him running around. I see him making the last-ditch efforts and last-ditch tackles. I'm not going to hold that against him. I just feel like he's not that guy who can control the middle of the midfield. He can't control the midfield for United. And with Casemiro, whenever he goes off, we see that drop-off. And it's so obvious that anybody who's watching United, you can see what a difference he makes. You think he's not doing much, but he does a lot for United. It's madness. We've just got 3 on the spin and don't reinforce. INEOS are a joke, pricks. Yeah, look, that is it, man. Anyone else, any other owner would be thinking, actually, do you know what? We've gone and shown what we can do. Let's go out there and improve on what we've already got. Let's secure this. Let's make it solid so we don't even have any risk going forward in the rest of the season, finishing off the season on a high. Why not? Why not try and give Carrick? And look, behind closed doors, we're hearing Carrick does want new signings. He feels like he can benefit from bringing in more players. However, INEOS are the ones who are calling the shots. The Wilcox, the Bradas, and of course, Jim Ratcliffe with the Glazers are calling the shots. And they're the ones who are sitting there thinking, no, we don't want to spend any money. No, we don't want to spend any money. If we can, let's hold out and then go again in the summer. Because it's obvious why they're doing that. They want to save money. They know that when it comes to summer, they can negotiate hard and maybe save an extra mil here and there and go and get other players. And they don't want to go and sign anybody right now who they feel like is maybe not going to be part of the future plans for United. I get that. I do get that. But I also understand that you have to improve what you've got and secure Champions League football. I've been saying it for a long time. They're going to regret if we slip up because of injuries, because of players not being available. If Casemiro gets suspended, it's not a matter of if, it's just a matter of when. Let's be honest. He will get suspended. Casemiro has got 4 yellow cards away from a suspension. How many games have we got left? We've got quite a lot of games, right? Are you telling me Casemiro's not going to pick up another 4 yellow? It's almost customary that he picks up a yellow card per game. That's just silly to think he's not. So let's just guarantee that Casemiro's not going to be available. Who's going to play in that position? I'm not confident Ugarte is going to be capable of doing that. That's my issue. So yeah, bring in somebody else. That's what I would do. But again, I'm just a humble fan. I'm just making my opinion count. But who knows? Who knows what INEOS are bloody thinking in their heads right now? I mean, please drop your comments. Let me know. Number one, if you bring in a signing, I want everyone who's watching to let me know in the comments, would you go out there and sign a new player in the last couple of hours of this transfer window? And if yes, let me know who it'd be, because that's a really important question, because there's some fans who are saying, yes, I'll sign somebody, but they're not agreeing on who it should be. And I think most fans who are saying bring in somebody are saying it's a midfielder, so they're picking out a midfielder. But let me know who you would, if you had the choice right now of going out there and signing somebody. Let me know who it is, because I know who I would go for. I know who I would go for. It's not a secret that it would be a midfielder, but I'll let you know in a short while who I believe should be the signing to make right now in the last couple of hours to secure our position in the Champions League spots, because I feel like we still haven't got the squad to go in to this final phase of the Premier League title or Premier League season and make sure we don't lose a grip of the positions we've got. It's so crazy. I mean, yesterday when we were drawing 2-2 and you look at the table and you're like, oh my God, we've dropped again. And then suddenly we win and boom, we're back up again. It's crazy. It's crazy and also frightening, man. It is frightening. It's frightening watching that. Niche says, we're being run by skin parasites at Sat Barada and Wilcox immediately. What are they even being paid for? Well, look, I don't think Barada and Wilcox I've got the call on this one. I think everything is being ran from behind the scenes, and Jim Ratcliffe is the guy who's dictating the cost. And he told the board, we're not buying anybody, we haven't got the money, or he said, right, okay, we'll see, let me know what if there's any player that's available. I personally think he's gone and told everybody, we're not signing anybody. We're just going to go into the summer and sign someone then. That's my personal opinion. But the noises coming out are different. I'm hearing some sources saying, actually, United are looking at players. The NDD is being mentioned again and again. And Neves is still there in the discussions. It's not about we don't have a lot of games. We have to get Champions League. Get the players in. Yeah, I absolutely, man. For me, it's about securing what we've already got. We're in a good position. Let's just make sure we do not let go of that. Lads, as soon as Amrin debacle happened, any chance of us making a signing this January went out the window. Twat channels like Housen and TUS have been gaslighting fans about secret transfers. Well, look, do you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. There has been lots of news going around from a few transfer journalists that saying have been pushing this agenda, whether it's because of INEOS, they work closely with INEOS or whatever, and they've been pushing this secret signing, keeping everyone engaged, everyone clicking, everyone interested in Man United. But deep down, they've known that United are not going to make any move in the January transfer window. But I agree with you, Neville. Immediately, the moment Amrin got sacked, it all stems back to not getting any signings. I believe what happened was, first of all, he never got sacked because of his results. He got sacked because of demanding transfers, and I think that's where it all started. The whole kickoff between Wilcox and the board, and the Wilcox and Ruben Amorim started because they went and told him in the first week of the January window that we're not going to go and sign anybody in the January window. And immediately, Ruben Amorim realised that they've left me out to dry. They're going to let me drown, and they're not going to back me. And, well, that's it. So that's where it starts off. And he kicks off then. He kicks off in the press. He looked like an upset manager. He looked like something's gone wrong. And this was it. They were not going to go and sign anybody. Now that he's gone, I think the chances of signing somebody has reduced even dramatically, given that Carrick is happy with the current squad. He said never say never, but he also said he's happy with the players that he's got. I just feel like Carrick is just going to be someone who's just going to kind of toe the line. I like Carrick. I obviously like what he's done with United, but I also think that he's going to toe the line. Whatever he's told, he will just accept. Because number one, he's not going to rock the boat, because he's going to realise he's the interim manager. He's got no leg to stand on. Right, he's won 3 games and he's done well, but he's still the interim manager, and he's come on that understanding that, look, I'm an interim manager. No matter what happens, no matter how much games I win, I may not be in the job at the end of the summer. Actually, I will not be in the job at the end of the summer unless something drastically changes. That's what he has the understanding when he came in. That was decided. So I don't think he's going to rock the boat. I don't think he's going to be knocking on the door of Wilcox this morning and banging it down saying, bring me some signings, bring me some bloody players. I want new players, bring them in. I don't think he's going to do that. I can't see that happening. I feel like he's probably sat down in his interview when he was discussed, and he's probably said, look, I don't think I need any more signings. I'll cook with whatever I've got. And I think now it's only PR stunts going around saying United are interested in signing this player, United are interested in Didi, United are interested in Gomez, United are interested in Neves, but they're actually not making any concrete move for any of these players when they really should be. We really should be. If we had foresight, if we had future planning, and we know INEOS are clueless when it comes to future planning, right? They would think, right, okay, actually, if we're going to go and make all these signings in the summer, why not get some of that budget, spend it now, and give us a player who can secure Champions League football for us this season, and also we can go into next season with, and we're not panic buying anybody because we know Casemiro's leaving. It's not a secret. So why not bring somebody else in right now for Casemiro? Why wait? Why wait till the summer when the World Cup is going on? All the players have gone off on international duty, and we're going to struggle to do any type of negotiation or signing. We're going to end up having to squeeze everything in the last couple of hours, or not hours, but a couple of days or a week or so after the World Cup finishes. It's ridiculous. I'm not in favour of that. There's never been a secret transfer. You just know that Carrick maybe brought up a midfield signing. The hierarchy will have used his results and the fact that we have only 14 games left to say no. Spot on. I think the crucial factor in all this transfer window is, number one, we've got no other football but Premier League. So they're going to be using that to smack anybody down who comes to the table and says, let's go and get some signings. Because they're going to say, no, we haven't got enough football. We've only got 14 games. You've got a large enough squad to rotate. We don't need... Problem is, yes, we might have a large enough squad, but we've got shit players available. Apart from the first 11, we start clutching at straws. Then after that, we'll start thinking, okay, shit, who do we bring on? Who is our game changer? Imagine if we were losing in a game on the weekend. If we were losing the game, who would we have brought on after we're struggling? We're struggling. If we're struggling, who do we bring on? Zertsky? Mount? Like, who's our game changer off the bench? And Ugarte, we saw Ugarte come on, man. Come on. Am I watching the wrong game? Am I watching some of the game? Please let me know if I'd be really happy for someone to come on and say, actually, Travis, we don't need to make these signings. Don't worry about it, mate. We've got enough, and these are the reasons why we should be okay. And Ugarte will come good. And everyone else in that midfield will carry on playing, and Casemiro will not get suspended, and we shouldn't pick up any serious injury. That's the only worry I have. But if someone can appease that worry, I'd be happy to sit here and say, actually, United, we don't need to go and sign anybody. But right now, I've been saying it for some time. I'm worried. No matter what happens in the next couple of days or weeks, we still have got 14 matches in the Premier League, which are going to be hell. They're going to be difficult. Every game in the Premier League is like a bloody cup final right now. It feels like a cup final. Every game you go into, it is make or break. You win, you're buzzing. You lose, and you flipping drop down that table as like a heavy rock. And it's not good. Also, morning, folks, the thing is, for a business standpoint, it's actually crazy. If they'd sold Ugarte and Zertsky and signed a midfielder, they'd basically consolidate at least fourth place. Yep, spot on. This is it. I do not understand how and why they haven't done the deal for Zertsky and brought somebody else in instead. Because it's clear for everyone to see, Zertsky's not going to get much game time. He'll be lucky to get any game time, even under Carrick. He doesn't fit into this formation. What is he going to do? I mean, if Sesko's not getting a start, what makes us think that Zertsky's going to get a start ahead of Sesko? And what position would Zertsky play? He'd have to play him in strike. He'd have to play him as your number 9. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be very difficult for him to get any kind of game. Laughing my arse off. If the cheapness costs us a spot in the Champions League, then we're going to look so unbelievably incompetent. That's new. Exactly, Travis. They're going to regret especially if there's a midfield injury. Helga, morning, mate. Hope you're doing well. How brilliant well, that was last night. What a nice game to be on. I hope you enjoyed that, brother. Look, it was tense. I mean, I enjoyed it, Helga, to a point, and then I was like, oh my God, we've thrown it away. 2-2. This is it. Nightmare situation. What is it with everyone coming up against United and scoring absolutely worldies? I mean, you could have asked the dude to flip in, score that goal in training, and out of 10 shots, he'd probably get one of them in. If, right, he'd get one of them in. But against United, this season, I feel like everyone's come in from that side. I don't know whether it just reminded me of the Rodgers goals against Villa. Remember that goal that Rodgers scored? Coming on to his right foot and then just curling it in above Lemons. And I felt like it was a deja vu situation. I was like, shit, I've seen this before. I've seen this play out before. But it was classic Man United coming back, not giving up, going straight onto the other side and putting in another amazing goal, a brilliant finish by Sesko. I think he took it really well. I've watched a couple of replays, but watching it live was sensational, and the crowd was buzzing. I mean, it was buzzing. At the start of the game, I think there was a lot of nervous tension around the ground. Everyone was kind of nervous to see what they're going to be like as United. Will they be able to play against this kind of team, Fulham, who might be sitting back? But credit given to Fulham, guys. They didn't actually sit back as we all thought they would. I thought that they'd be sitting quite deep and they'd be playing that low block, but they didn't. They actually gave as good as they got. Even in the first half, they were pretty good. They were actually going forward and attacking United, and they were leaving options open at the back for United. And I think United, again, could have taken some of the early chances and buried the game early on, but they didn't. Stephanie, welcome. Hope you're doing well this morning. I hope you enjoyed the game yesterday as well. I hope everyone did. I mean, everyone must be buzzing after that game. It's unfortunate that we've got the deadline day today and we can't really discuss much of yesterday's game, and we're focusing on transfer news. Last night we started getting lots of transfer news about Liverpool making a couple of signings, and I think they're going to make a one or two more today. Clearly, they feel like they need to resolve their issues. Look, for me, I think teams have to do that. The January window is where you can assess your squad, you can assess how we're playing, and then say, right, okay, do you know what? We need reinforcements in this position. Let's go. Let's get them in. And then we can go give it another big push to finish off the season. And that, I swear, it will make the difference. It will make the difference. A decent keeper settled back for Casemiro Manu in front of them. That's a solid base. But if injuries and suspension strike, it can affect us 100%. Yeah, I think, look, right now, if I could play this same team the entire season and not change a thing, I would hands down say yes. Absolutely. Just as long as they're not injured. I'm a big sucker for not changing the team. I don't know about you guys, but I'm really happy that Carrick keeps on putting out a winning side and he's not tinkering. I hate the tinkerers, man. I hate this. That's what was one of my major criticisms of Ruben Amorim, because what he would do, he would tinker. He would tinker with a winning team. So, like Newcastle, for instance, we played against Newcastle not long ago, Dogu in the right wing, and we looked sensational. We looked like we finally found a team starting 11 that actually looked balanced, and we were all over Newcastle. We could have won that game comfortably. And guess what? Next game, Ruben Amorim changes everything about that team and changes all the positions once again. And I feel like, no, you don't do that. You don't do that. If you win, if you get the winning ingredients, do not bloody change it. You don't mess about with it. Keep the bloody same. Keep doing it time and time again until something gives. So that's why I like Carrick, the fact that he's just playing the same team and doing what is needed. I like that about Carrick, and I'll stick with him. Morning, Jim. Hope you're doing well. Hope you enjoyed yesterday's game. Ruben Neves, for me, yeah, Steph, I agree. That's my midfielder, guys. I said I'd reveal who I think United should sign. And personally, I think Ruben Neves, yes, I know his salary demands are a little bit high, but I think for short-term stability, someone who comes in, settles straight into the team, he's got his Portuguese links there as well with Bruno Dalot, and I think he's almost a like-for-like replacement for Casemiro. So if Casemiro is injured or suspended, boom, we've got Ruben Neves coming in and settling straight into that midfield, and I think he would do a phenomenal job for us. I still feel like he can give us what we need in that midfield. In fact, I'm telling you right now, if we went and signed him, I think he would be here for a few more seasons coming, because he can certainly do a job. He is the player that can add a bit of experience into that midfield and composure into that midfield. Really, really think that's the most obvious signing to go for, especially when he's an extra nothing. He's an extra nothing. Blaber would have been possible if we actually moved like a proper club in the market. Yeah, I agree, Neville. I think if we had done the move like we as a big club should be doing, going to Brighton and saying, stop pissing us about. You're going to sign him in the summer. You might as well give him right now. He's not doing a good enough job for you anyway, and you're not playing for anything right now anyway, right? Just piss off. Sell us the guy. Here's the bloody money. Off we go. Right? You get Blaber out of there and you start getting him to play and start cooking for United. That would be ideal for us. I just feel like we're just wasting time with him. And the longer it goes on, I feel like either Blaber's going to end up collapsing or someone else is going to jump in and get him. So, yeah, absolutely true, Travis, bro. I just meant that I was disappointed in seeing the big channels with a big followings making videos about it when they know better. Also, totally agree about Amrin. Yeah, look, I agree. Look, there's big channels out there who push a certain narrative when they truly know it's not. They don't ever make you aware of the opposite side of what they're telling you. So they could be saying, look, yes, we're hearing this, but it might not be true. What they do instead is completely gaslight people, completely, pull on your emotional strings, and they're like, oh yeah, there's a secret signing coming in, and Man United have boxed it off, and it's all signed, sealed, delivered, and he'll be a United player. We just don't know who it is. Like, come on. Like, we've been around, seen it. We know what happens. Transfers are never kept secret anymore. Everybody finds out about them because everyone's got sources within the process. So somewhere down the chain, somebody leaks the information, whether it's from an agent, whether it's from players, whether it's from somebody else involved in the transfer process who lets it out of the bag. And look, there is no secret signing that United have done. It's just, again, because there's no signing, because there's no name that's been linked to United, someone's just come up with a bright idea of, let's just call it a secret signing because no one knows. Just in the hope that United are doing something. And then if it does transpire that it something happens in the last couple of hours of the transfer window, that person could say, I told you so. I knew there was a secret signing. But I'm telling you, I've not heard anything. I'm hearing zero. It's complete silence from United. Complete silence, which is not good news. It's not good news. And I've been saying it for days now that, look, I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting any news. And for me, that's suicidal. That's like simply saying, right, okay, we've got a chance to secure Champions League football, but we're not going to do that. We're not going to take that. And they're leaving themselves open for huge criticism, because the very same media that are not questioning anything right now will, I'm telling you, come end of the season, if United do not qualify for Champions League, they're going to be on it like a car bonnet. They're going to be saying, oh, United messed up because they didn't go out there and sign somebody in the January transfer window. Owners realised they made a mistake, so they just undermined the guy until he snapped. They wanted him to play his system, and when they realised after the fact that it cost too much, they shit the bed. Yeah, there is a huge finger pointing at INEOS. Everyone knows, man. Everyone knows something's not right at INEOS. May as well just sack Bereda and Wilcox. If Jim's calling the shots, what's the point of even having them? Just a couple of sports psychologists in and use Football Manager to scout players. Yeah, look, it's always his men, aren't they? His men. Wilcox and Bereda are his men who are doing all the reporting, who are getting his message out to the rest of the people at United. Look, Jim Ratcliffe wants this doing. They used the first 2 weeks on Ollie or Carrick distraction, then ouch, Carrick is in, and then it's secret midfielder, and he won his game, which took the focus away, and here we are. Perfectly summed up. That is our January transfer window in a nutshell. They have completely smokescreened the shit out of the fans at United, and we fans have lapped it up. And Why shouldn't we? It's difficult. It's difficult to keep your eye on everything at one time. You know, we went into the first week of the transfer window and we were all hyped because we were all talking about Baleba coming in the first couple of weeks. We were talking about maybe even Semenyo. Where's that money gone from Semenyo? Where has that money gone? Why were they prepared to buy Semenyo if we are to believe the news reports? I, for one moment, do not believe that United made an offer and were serious about signing Semenyo. That's my opinion. I might be completely wrong here, by the way. So I had that exclusion clause as well. But I believe that United either sent that out just for PR purposes, that, oh yeah, we're interested in Semenyo, or they were just doing it to appease Ruben Amorim, like saying, right, he's saying he wants Semenyo, so I tell you what, put out the news that we're going in for Semenyo, that we've made an offer, and we know he's not going to come. And then at least we can turn around to Ruben and say, well, we tried Ruben, we didn't get your man, so let's move on now. So yeah, but that is perfectly summed up. They've just completely smoke screened the whole of the January transfer window, and now in the last couple of hours we're screaming saying, shit, why haven't we signed anybody? Why have we not gone out there and signed somebody? I think we all agree it's just awful business and handling of the club to have not made a midfield signing. Glad we can all see it. It's mental for them to cheap out again. I think we all can see that. I mean, it was a obvious reminder yesterday. 2-0, we're leading, we're comfortable, Casemiro comes off, and boom, we go 2-2. Keep Vivell, sack the others, says Niche. They just have just stalled, misinformed, distracted and deflected the whole window. They know exactly what they are doing. Yeah, they do. They know exactly what they're doing, man. They've known from day one. It's just us fans who believe, who keep on believing in them. We keep on giving them the benefit of doubt. We keep on believing and trusting in these shitheads who screwed our club over. But we keep believing. We keep on thinking, maybe, just maybe, they might be seeing the light. Maybe we've got it wrong. Maybe they are decent. Maybe they are looking out for United. Maybe they do want to improve United. But we keep on getting this false sense of security with INEOS and the Glazers, but they keep on showing us their true colours. From day one, there was no interest in signing anybody in the January transfer window. There was none. There was absolutely no purpose to this January transfer window. We might as well not bloody have had it at this point. Let's see. Neville says, also, it's also knowing, seeing our rivals making... Yeah, honestly, it is, man. Every time my phone's going off the hook and I'm hearing about flipping Liverpool signing this, Aston Villa looking at this player, and these teams are the teams around us. These teams are the ones that might come to haunt us, the ones that are improving. They know that, look, this isn't good enough. It's insane to look over at Liverpool and think that they believe that they need to improve on that bloody team. They've went and spent how many millions in the summer, and yet they still have the audacity to turn around and say, actually, we need to improve in January transfer window. We need to go out there and sign more players. That is the club showing ambition. That is the club that says, actually, this isn't good enough. And they're not embarrassed about it either. They're not saying, all right, shit, we spent all this money, and people are going to point fingers at us saying, oh, look at Liverpool. They spent all that money and they're still having to go out in the January transfer window to buy some more players. They're not doing that. They're like, right, okay, need sorting. Let's flip and put the money down. Let's go and see if we can mend this. Let's go and rectify this. United, on the other hand, are like, we ain't got the money. We ain't got the money. Allow it. We ain't got the money. But one player, Ruben Neves would have been perfect. God forbid Manu picks up an injury. That is the worry, man. That is the worry for us. The drop-off is alarming when Casemiro goes off. Yeah, absolutely, man. It is so worrying. Again, yesterday, I wasn't unhappy that he was taking Casemiro off. I was like, okay, look, he's getting a standing ovation. Everyone's happy. We've boxed this game off. There's no way we're going to lose this game. And wow. I mean, we went from absolute control of the game, Fulham looking like they're not going to do anything, to Fulham scoring 2 goals, and we were on the ropes. So again, look, yeah, we need to. Facts, definitely. Ugarte will never improve. Isn't improving, being reunited with his old manager. Then I'm convinced he's hit his ceiling. Insane. The club didn't sell him to Ajax there. I think, do you know what it is? That's really interesting comment you made there, that we've not sold any players. And the reason why I believe that's happening is because INEOS know that it's more costly for them to go out there and sign players rather than just hold on to Ugarte and Zertsky. And then at least they can say, well, we've got enough players. We have got enough players. Whereas if Zertsky was allowed to leave and we sold Ugarte, immediately fans would be saying, we need more players. We need replacements. Why do we need to replace them? So to protect themselves against that backlash from fans, they've just simply said, actually, do you know what we'll do? We'll just leave it. We'll just leave him here. We'll keep him. We'll keep Ugarte. We'll keep Zertsky, because at least no one can then say, oh, we haven't got enough players. And immediately, if someone says, oh, we haven't got midfielder options, we can say, well, we have. We got Ugarte there. He's doing a good enough job, and that's it. That's what I think they are doing. They're absolutely protecting themselves against any kind of negative backlash from any United fans. Although, by the way, yesterday the protest did go ahead. It wasn't as big as I thought it would be, but I think they got the message across. There was a few reports in the media as well about it. So yeah, look, it keeps the pressure on. If we don't like the Champions League this season, if we don't get Champions League this season, it's because we didn't strengthen in January. It's that simple. Yeah, I agree. That is the case. We would. This is like a golden opportunity to just secure what position we're in. And they blocked the Zertsky move, and we all know that Zertsky is at best getting a 10-minute cameo before the end of the season. Truly mental. We're just keeping him for the sake of it. Yeah, we are. We are completely holding on to these players because we just can't be bothered to put in the effort of going and buying players, put in the effort of going and negotiating in the January window. That's all it is. We just can't be bothered. That's it. We should have just titled it INEOS. Just can't be bothered. That's the thumbnail, isn't it? That should be it. Also, cannot agree more. I feel like every team we play scores an absolute rasper against us. Got PTSD from the Spurs Forest game. I admit I haven't even heard of Kevin Boy scored a rocket. You know what? Yeah, man. Do you know what? I didn't know he had it in him. I didn't know he had that shot in him. I was looking at him thinking, yeah, he's not done anything this season. He's not that good. But wow, what a flipping strike, man. And only against United. Takeaways from us not buying anyone. Blaber's deal is done for sure, and that's why they don't want another midfielder. If they get Baleba and Wharton, I'll forgive this. I think you might be right. In the sense that I think they know that Blaber's coming at the end of the season, and there's no point going out and spending, even it's 15 million on a interim midfielder. That's what I think they're probably thinking. But who knows? I think there's no guarantee with INEOS what they've done. They might be claiming that they've done the deal, and it might not happen. So Liverpool having spent more money is insane. Imagine hearing that at the start of the season. Yeah, man. Arsenal, Chelsea and Liverpool always do business in both windows. City, Chelsea and Liverpool always do business in both windows. Why is United's January window nearly always boarded up? Yeah, man. Why are we the only club that feel like January's not an opportunity to go out there and strengthen? The only reason I can put down to it is that, look, we just simply don't want to overpay in January. That's all it is. And we want time to negotiate and lower the price of any player that we're negotiating for. I think that's what it is. It gives you opportunity to lower the price. I've been really pleased with Carrick. I mean, who isn't? But this is how Sesko should have been treated. Can't accept a 10-15 goal per season rotation striker from Leipzig to the main man at United. That's it. That's exactly how I've said we should always integrate young players coming in from other leagues. We can't throw them in the deep end and say, do a job. There you go. It's horrendous to do that to a young striker and then kill their confidence immediately. Mbumo's perfect for helping take the pressure off the lad, and now he looks more confident because people are unfamiliar with him from Leipzig just see Bundesliga striker and fee and expect Haaland. Yeah. Look, I think he's done a good job. He's done a good job coming on and doing what he has for United. United spreading Premier League goals around is great to see. See 19 in total from Kuna, Mbumo, Sesko, better than 20 from Haaland. Bruno and Casemiro also chipped in with 5 apiece. Yeah, I like that. I always think that's a really good sign of a team getting goals from all over the field, not just a striker, because if that one striker gets injured, we're shafted. Just like City rely on certain players in that team, and if they get injured, they're up against it, aren't they? There's the ones who brought in him. I'll stand on this one. 10 toes. Amrin left the club in a better place than when he arrived for Carrick, yet people are blaming the sacrificial lamb again. Look, the players that we've brought in the summer absolutely have been sensational for us this season. Sorry, I'm ranting again. Travis, you know I was fully on board with Amrin project. I'm developing trust issues because of INEOS, lol. Yeah, I understand. Look, INEOS, they cannot be trusted. We cannot trust INEOS, and I'm not asking anyone to trust INEOS. Media Muppets on Glazer payroll, feeding fanbase nonsense stories. I just ignore them and focus on United winning football matches. That's what Carrick and Co brings, not entertaining pressers questions. Absolutely. I love that. Love that comment, because that is exactly what Carrick has bought. He's not getting caught up in all this drama that most managers do and start talking this and talking about that. He's just sticking to winning games. He's not bothered about anything else going on behind the scenes and whatever PR stunts INEOS and the Glazers are pulling at all times. He's just sticking to what he knows, and he's saying, look, I'm just sticking to going out there and doing a job against the teams. I wish I could stay longer, but I have a meeting. I have to go to rush now. Have a blessed day, everyone. Helga, thank you, mate. Appreciate that. Travis, mate, I think you're spot on. That makes total sense. It just seemed so baffling. Pricks, man. I love Zirtsky and he deserves better elsewhere. So let him go, man. You're surely right, though. No, I definitely think that's the case, man. I definitely think that they are just holding on to him because it's easy for him. I would absolutely love a job working for Man United's recruitment department every January off. Yeah, honestly, you'd think they'd have one person working alone an entire team. Well, look, it's crazy, but they must have told everyone at the outset of the January window. They would have said, right, okay, we're not signing anybody. Thank you. Pack your bags. Off you go, guys. Go off on holiday for a month. Carrick must be careful with his substitute. We don't want mistakes. If you lead, then you substitute and concede. You must know your substitute was wrong. We won against Fulham, but I was not happy. Great point there, Sandal. Yeah, because I believe that yesterday's game we got lucky because those substitutions that happened clearly affected the game. Clearly, something happened. That drop-off was insane, man. Insane. Casemiro coming off. Kuna coming. I think he should have left it slightly later. I think he should have given it till at least the 75, 80th minute. Then we've got 10 minutes to ride out the game, and we could have had that. We could have managed that drop-off with Ugarte. But it's crazy because I'm trying to work out. I was trying to watch the game again to work out why there was such a huge drop-off. It was just really concerning me. Even now it is. You don't substitute to please the player on the bench. You substitute to save and win the game. His selection is very good, spot on. Yeah, his selection was brilliant. But I agree. I just feel like he just made them substitutions at the wrong bloody time. And Fulham sniffed it. They sniffed it out. They realised, okay, we've got a chance here. And I feel like Ugarte, he covers a lot more ground, but I don't want him to do that. I want him to stick in that middle of the pitch and just cover the centre of the pitch and stop anything going through. Stephanie, such a good point about the team collectively scoring as opposed to relying on a star player. Has anyone else noticed if they fail to get Haaland a goal, they usually draw? Yeah, this is the problem with relying on just one player. That is the biggest worry if you have a one-man team. I'm really happy with United getting goals. I'm really happy for Kuna picking up a goal as well. Does wonders for his confidence. He's going and kicking on, scoring loads of goals for us. And Casemiro, of course, with that man of the match performance. But overall, the entire team looked really solid once again. Yes, there was some worrying signs once the substitutions were made. I think Carrick will learn from that. I think Carrick will know that that was a close call. And I think in other games coming forward, I think he will end up leaving his team out there till maybe later on, because he didn't need to make them changes. We were the team comfortable. We could have held on to the ball and kept the game rolling. We didn't need to make those changes immediately. If we were losing, yeah, maybe we could have, or maybe if we were struggling. But I felt like we had full control of the game and we didn't need those substitutions to be made at that point. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave the show there. If there's any breaking transfer news, of course, I'll bring a live show to you as and when I get it. Fingers crossed. Who knows? Who knows? I might be back later on this evening talking about a new Man United signing, exclusive. And yes, it could happen. It could happen. Wilder things have happened in the transfer window. So I want to thank everybody, everyone in the chat, everyone who's joined us, everyone who's hit the like button, everyone that subscribed if they haven't already. Thank you very much. And I'll be back hopefully with a live update show with a transfer. Thank you very much. Take care.